Edgerunner Gaming HD, and welcome to another discussion video here on the channel. And today, well, let's just say that this discussion video is going to piss off quite a large group of people. There's going to be a large group of people that aren't going to be very fond of what I'm about to say here. So I'm just going to give you all a fair warning. If you clicked on this video and you think that this certain video game company can do no wrong, that they're picture perfect, that they don't have any flaws or mistakes, I highly suggest clicking off this video right now, because I'm about to pop the bubble, even though the bubble has already technically been popped before. But I guess, I guess the bubble's been blown back up, so it's time to pop it once again. So I'm just going to give you a fair warning. If you don't like what I'm about to say here, I highly suggest clicking off right now. With that warning out of the way, let's get to what this discussion video is about today. So the reason why I'm making this discussion video today is to discuss the new DLC expansion pack coming to Cyberpunk 2077 titled Phantom Liberty. Now, they showed this trailer off during the Xbox showcase earlier today. At the time of me recording this, it is June 11th, 2023. It's been a few hours since the showcase ended. I'm recording this in the late afternoon. It's about 7 o'clock at night, my time, at the time of me recording. The showcase ended just a few hours ago. And I'm making this discussion video here because while I was intrigued by what I saw in the teaser trailer for the DLC, and don't get me wrong, the DLC looked pretty darn good from what I saw. It looks like it's going to be a pretty decent DLC. Do I think it's going to be the greatest expansion pack that they've ever made? We'll have to see. I know that they've stated, CDPR has stated that this DLC is going to be twice the size of both Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine, which is the two major expansion DLCs that they made for The Witcher 3. It's going to be double the size of both of those DLC packs combined. So this is officially the largest DLC that they've ever made for a video game to date in the history of their company. And while that all sounds interesting and everything, and while the DLC did look intriguing from what I saw, I still would recommend not pre-ordering it. And I'm saying this now because from the reaction that I've been seeing all over the internet regarding this DLC, it seems to me like everybody has quickly swept everything under the rug regarding this game when it first came out in 2020. It's like everybody just wants to forget how broken, buggy, glitchy, and empty this game was when it first came out. You people are sitting back and trying to sweep under the rug that this company, nearly 3 years ago, blatantly lied to all of you right in front of your face. They promised that this game would come out bug-free, glitch-free, that it wouldn't crash, that it wouldn't have any hard crashes, that it would have so much content, that there would be so much to do. And while, yes, technically there is quite a bit to do in the game, especially now, when this game first came out, it was unlike anything that they promised. This game was a broken, buggy, glitchy, hard crashing piece of shit. So much to the point that it was one of the most refunded video games in the history of the video game industry. Refunded to the point where Sony themselves took it off the PlayStation Store because CDPR released a press statement telling people to try to get refunds on the game if they chose to, and to contact their retailer or wherever they got the game from to get refunds if they didn't want the game in their library anymore. And so many people spam PlayStation about that PlayStation ended up taking the game off the PlayStation Store. They pissed off a multi-hundred-billion-dollar company by going against their refund policy. PlayStation, as we all know it, has one of the worst, if not the worst, refund policy in all of video gaming. This video game was so notoriously bad at launch, it caused a nearly, I guess you could say nearly $1 trillion company, $100 billion company, to change their refund policy around and issue refunds to people who bought this game and took the game off the PlayStation Store for about a good 3 to 4 months. It took quite a while for this game to be reinstated back up onto the stores. I remember hearing horror stories about people that bought this game, the physical copy, and they're trying to take it back to stores like Walmart and Target and Best Buy, and they're being denied refunds. Even though they're showing these employees that CDPR said that they're eligible for refunds, they're being denied refunds because once the game's been opened, you can't bring it back. Now, GameStop, I believe, was one of the very few stores that actually changed their refund policy around regarding the game because it was so fucking broken. They actually, if I remember correctly, changed their refund policy around and allowed people to bring the game back and get a full refund, regardless of what edition or what console it was. They got their money back. And even to this day, nearly 3 years later, after all the fixes, after all the patches and everything, this game still has bugs, it still has glitches. When I recorded my discussion video about that certain VTuber for Rumble, if you watched that video, I was still having frame rate issues to this day. To this day, I was still having frame rate issues when I was recording that video. It even hard crashed on me. The game hard crashed on me when I was recording that video. This game, even on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X and PC, to this day, still has bugs, still has glitches, and still hard crashes. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, there's a lot of video games that are like that. That doesn't make them better either. That don't fucking make them better either. The fact that it's been nearly 3 years since this game came out, and it's still having hard crash issues, even on the next-gen console, just shows to me how pathetic of a launch this was for this game when it first came out. To the fact that even nearly 3 years later, this game still has issues. Unreal. And it's unfortunate for the PS4 and Xbox One version of the game because CDPR basically came out and said they're not fixing the issues no more on those console versions. They're done. They're done patching it. They're done. No more future updates for PS4 or Xbox One. They've wiped their hands. They have wiped their hands of those console versions and they're moving on. Once Phantom Liberty comes out, that's it. Maybe you'll get like a few bug fix patches here and there, but once that DLC comes out, they're officially washing their hands of Cyberpunk and they're going to move on to The Witcher 4. Meanwhile, this game's still going to have glitches, bugs, and crashes that will never be fixed. Unless, of course, if you're on PC, then you can have the modding community do it for you. Which, I've always heard the expression that if you have to mod a game in order to fix it, that's not to blame the people who are fixing the game, because they're taking time out of their day to fix it for you. The blame goes toward the developers, because they were too lazy to go out and fix their own fucking game. See Skyrim and Fallout 4, for example. In order to play those games mostly bug-free, you have to download mods for them. And I'm not going to shit on the people who make mods for those games, because I love modding Skyrim and Fallout 4. I love mods for those games. But if you have to mod a game to fix the bugs and glitches in a game that the developer themselves couldn't fix, what does that say about the developer as a whole? Really think about what I just said there. If you have to fix the bugs and glitches yourself, what does that say about the game developer as a whole? That shows me, and that should show you, that they're too lazy to fix their own shit. CDPR blatantly pulled the wool over everyone's eyes when this game first came out in 2020. And then when the game came out, they pulled the wool back and showed the entire world their true nature with this game. And all the apologies that they did, all the ass kissing that happened afterwards, I will never forgive them for the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. I will never forgive them for that launch. The fact that there were people still kissing their ass when that game first came out, stating that even though it has bugs and glitches, it's still a good game. And this is when the game first came out, mind you. There were people still defending it. How in the hell could you defend a broken, buggy piece of crap like that? I really want to know. Unless you were being paid by them. You either have to be completely brain dead, you have to be completely disillusioned, you have to have absolutely no taste in what a real, true video game is supposed to be, or you gotta be getting paid by them under the table or something to have defended that game when it first came out. I wanted to get the game myself before it came out. When it first came out back in 2020, I was very close. I had the money to buy Cyberpunk 2077 day one. But all the warning signs were there. The fact that there weren't any review copies being sent out to reviewers or video game companies. The fact that they were copyright claiming and copyright striking people for uploading gameplay of the game that they didn't give permission to. The fact that there was no information on how the game was running before it came out. Nobody knew anything. CDPR was keeping very hush-hush about it. All the delays, so many delays for Cyberpunk 2077. This was supposed to come out in the springtime of 2020, and it got delayed so many fucking times. The warning signs were there, and I told myself, you know what, I think I'm just going to hold off on pre-ordering this game, on getting this game. I was going to pre-order Cyberpunk 2077. I admit it right now, I was going to pre-order the game. I had the money to do it. But all the warning signs were there to me, and my gut told me, Edge, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. You're going to regret it. Don't do this. And I'm so glad I didn't do it. I stuck with my gut, and I kept my money, and I didn't give it to CDPR, and I'm so glad I didn't do that at launch. Now, granted, I did buy Cyberpunk 2077 a year and a half later, when a bunch of patches and stuff came out, when I heard that the game was decent. I didn't pay full price. I paid about $20 for Cyberpunk 2077 when I got it. I own Cyberpunk for both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I own Cyberpunk digitally for PlayStation 4 and physically for PlayStation 4. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, well, you're a hypocrite for saying that, because if you combine the prices, you pretty much bought the game for the same price that it did when it first came out. I didn't buy the game when it first came out. I didn't buy it day one now, did I? Did you see me upload a video on my channel with Cyberpunk 2077 in my hands the day it came out? No. Because I stuck with my gut, and I just had a very bad feeling that something was wrong. And sure enough, look what happened. Is Cyberpunk 2077 a terrible game? No, absolutely not. After all the patches and stuff, even though that there's bugs and glitches and it still crashes from time to time, there are things about the game that I do love. There are things about the game that I do like. But there's also things about the game that I don't love and that I don't like. I have a love-hate relationship with Cyberpunk 2077. I love it and I hate it. I love that there is quite a bit of stuff to do in the game outside of the main story. Like, there's so many side gigs and stuff to do in the game. But I also hate the fact that we were lied to on how this game was before it came out, how CDPR treated their consumer base before the game even came out, how they lied to every single one of us. All the promises that were made, all the features that were supposed to be in the game that to this day have never been put in. Like, for example, a cyberpunk game, a cyberpunk world where you can't drive cars that fly unless you're on PC with mods. You can't drive a car and fly it around in Night City. You can't do it on console. PC, absolutely. Console, nope. There's cars that you see flying around in the sky in Night City. You can't get in them. There's a train system in Cyberpunk 2077. You can't ride the train unless you're on console with, or excuse me, unless you're on PC with mods. I wish it was on console. I wish there were mods available for this game, like Skyrim and Fallout on console. That'd be great. Unfortunately, that's not the case. If there were mods available for this game on console, I probably would shit on it less, because at least I could look at it and be like, oh well, I could download mods for the game and I could try to fix this broken buggy mess the best I can. I could add features to the game that should have been in the game day one. For example, the update that added the apartments and stuff in Cyberpunk 2077 that you're able to buy. Granted, I've never been able to buy one of those apartments because I didn't play that much of Cyberpunk 2077 on my channel. And I do plan on going back to the game, by the way, in the future. But anyways, the apartments that are in the game that are, you know, able for you to buy, while they're nice and all, there's very little that you can really do with those places. And personally, I feel like they should have been in the game day one. I feel like that stuff should have been in the game day uno, day number one. No flying cars, or no flying cars that you're able to drive, no NPCs riding motorcycles. And I saw one of the game developers say that the reason why they couldn't implement that was because it took too much coding. Too much coding to code NPCs, non-playable characters, driving motorcycles around the city. Grand Theft Auto Vice City for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Original Xbox. The first Xbox One. Not the Xbox One that came out 10 years ago, but the original Xbox One. The first Xbox. That game had NPCs driving motorcycles around. And that was for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And PC as well. You're gonna tell me a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, PC, and of course the next gen consoles are not strong enough to handle that? Are you fucking kidding me? And oh yeah, for the record, none of this stuff is being added in the Phantom Liberty DLC. Unless I am completely blind, I didn't see no flying cars that you're able to drive in Phantom Liberty. I didn't see no NPCs driving motorcycles around. And this is stuff that they showed in trailers before the game even came out. Drive-by shootings and stuff, the ability to do a drive-by in your car. Now maybe that'll be added in Phantom Liberty. It should have been in the game day one. It was advertised in a trailer for the game before it even came out. And the game comes out and there's no drive-by shootings. There's no ability to drive by and cause a shooting in your car. San Andreas had that feature. Why didn't Cyberpunk? Oh, I know, because the developers were fucking lazy. Stop kissing CDPR's ass. This company has lied on multiple occasions, has lied to you, the consumer, on a lot of things that they promised that were never implemented in the game or implemented in future updates down the line that should have been in the game day fucking one. And how do you people reward CDPR and their incompetence and their lies and their basic kicking you in the dick? They basically kicked you right in the crotch when the game first came out in 2020. And how do you reward them? Do you not get up and punch them right in the... Like, if somebody kicks me in the nuts, the second I gain my composure, I'm going to get up and I'm going to want to start fucking wailing on that son of a bitch. I may not be big bone, I may not be a fighter, I'm not saying I'm Mike Tyson or anything, but somebody kicks me in the nuts, once I gain my composure and I get back up on my feet, I'm gonna want to put some fucking fists right to their face. I'm gonna want to sock them right in the fucking jaw. And instead of you people wanting to fight back, instead you're just standing there, opening up your legs, saying, kick me again, kick me in the crotch yet again. You people are going to reward that behavior with $30. Half the price of what the game was when it first came out. Unfucking real. This DLC could be great. It could be outstanding. It could be amazing. It could revolutionize the entire game. And I still recommend not pre-ordering it. I still recommend not getting it day one. I'll only recommend the DLC if you really want it for two reasons. Number one, wait at least a week, maybe 2 weeks after it comes out. Wait till everybody gets a hold of it, the ones that do pre-order the DLC. Wait for them to get the DLC, wait for them to play it. If it comes out and if it's not broken, buggy, glitchy, it doesn't break the game or anything, and it lives up to expectations, or at least it's a good DLC, then okay. Which leads into number two. If you want the DLC, don't spend $30 for it. Get it on sale. I would say the most you should spend on this DLC is at a bare minimum $15. $15. The most, I would say 20. 20 bucks. I would say 15 is a really good price. 20 is pushing it, but if you really want to get the DLC for 20 bucks, then go right on ahead. I don't recommend paying a full $30 for this. I just don't. You're going to pay half the price for a DLC for the game. When the game came out for $60, you're paying half the price of the original launch for the game. For a game that, when it came out, blatantly lied to every single one of you. And if you're going out here buying this DLC, pre-ordering it, buying it day one, and you're not willing to bring up the fact that this company lied to all of us, lied to you, and released a broken, unfinished, glitchy, buggy mess back in 2020, if you're going to try to sweep all of that under the rug and forget all about it, I hate to say it, but you're a fucking cuck. You're getting cucked. This is coming from somebody that owns Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Granted, I didn't pay full price for the game. I bought it when it was super fucking cheap. I plan on returning to Cyberpunk 2077 one day. I plan on returning to the game one day here on my channel. I don't know when, but someday I plan on returning to it. Even if I had a next-gen console, I wouldn't get this DLC day one. I would wait. Wait and see what happens. And if you hear it's good, then get it on sale. My channel name is Edrunner Gaming. I named my channel from K-On Gaming to Edrunner because I loved the Cyberpunk Edrunners anime. I loved it. It's my personal favorite anime of all time now. Do I think it's the greatest anime ever? Of course not. There's better anime out there. I'm just saying from personal taste, it's my favorite anime of all time. But just because it's my favorite anime of all time, doesn't mean I'm going to give CDPR a pass when it comes to when this game first came out. One of the biggest hype trains in video gaming history. This game was hyped up like it was the next Grand Theft Auto. I had not seen a game this hyped up probably since Grand Theft Auto 5, and before that probably since Skyrim, and before that probably Halo 3. This game had a hype train that I have not seen in a long time. And it comes out and look what happened. Broken promises and a broken game. Then again, at the end of the day, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? If you want to go out and reward CDPR for what they did by giving them a full $30 for this DLC, hey, fine. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's holding a gun up to your head and telling you don't buy it or they're pulling the trigger. You want to buy it? Go ahead and buy it. I'm not stopping you. Nobody should. But I will say this. I will warn you. If this DLC comes out broken, buggy, glitchy, breaks the game, or it's a piece of shit expansion, don't come crying to CDPR about it. Don't come bitching at CDPR about it. Blame yourselves. Have you ever heard the saying, fool me once, shame on you? Well, what comes after that? Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me once the first time because I believed in CDPR and that they would release a game that would be bug-free, glitch-free, or mostly bug-free, mostly glitch-free, because it's very rare for a video game to come out perfectly flawless. At least give me a game that runs properly, that functions properly. And they didn't do that, so shame on them. If you go out and still buy this DLC for a full price and pre-order this DLC and defend this company and kiss their ass like they didn't do no wrong, and this DLC comes out and it's a broken, buggy mess, all I'm gonna say is don't blame CDPR. Blame yourselves for falling into a trap yet again. I don't want this expansion to suck. I don't want it to suck at all. I hope this DLC comes out and it's absolutely amazing. I'm just saying as a precaution, as a warning. Go into this with your expectations very low. Do not overhype this. Do not overseed your expectations. Go into this with low optimism, with low expectations. If it comes out and it's absolutely amazing, then get it when it's on sale. You do what you want for your money. But all I'm going to say is, don't come bitching about it if they stab you in the back yet again. My channel name is Edrunner Gaming HD for a reason. But if you think I'm going to sit down and defend CDPR and kiss their ass and act like nothing's wrong, that they can't do no wrong, that I'm just going to forgive them for what they did, you're dead wrong. Oh yeah, one last thing before I go. I'm glad I remember this. Remember when they promised that this DLC would come to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? Well, that also turned out to be another fucking lie. Because it turns out that they basically pulled the wool over our eyes yet again, and then pulled the wool back when it was time to announce DLC and say, oh yeah, the DLC's next gen only, fuck you. I mean, this is the same company that released an Xbox One X version of Cyberpunk 2077, customized in Cyberpunk 2077 style, with the controller, console, game, and everything, and promised people that they would get the expansion day one at no extra cost for free if they bought the console. Only they didn't come out and say, oh yeah, it's not coming to PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, so fuck you. Oh, and to the people that bought the Xbox One X version, we'll give you a free voucher code for the DLC. How much you bet they're not gonna do that for every single person that bought those consoles? You know how many people bought those fucking consoles? I mean, unless you somehow register it to their account, I guarantee you not everybody that bought those consoles is gonna get that DLC. And even if they do, what if they don't have an Xbox Series S or X? I guess tough luck for them. Eat shit, basically. Fuck them. Oh, they don't have an Xbox Series S or X, but we gave them the DLC anyway. So why are you complaining? I mean, I know we said the DLC would come to PS4 and Xbox One, and then we pulled the wool over your eyes and pulled the wool back and basically said, ha 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 ha, joke's on you, it's not on PS4 or Xbox One no more. Fuck you. Oh, but Xbox One X users that bought the Cyberpunk bundle, we'll give you the DLC free of charge. You just have to get an Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X for it. Oh, you don't have an Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X? Well, I guess you're gonna have to go flip burgers at McDonald's to get yourself the fucking console for an expansion that they should have fucking got on the console that you promised. Is there a part of me that's pissed off I can't play this DLC? A little. A little bit, yes. But at the same time, even if I had a next-gen console, I still wouldn't get it day one. I would wait. Just wait. Play the patience game and wait. Like that Guns N' Roses song goes, all you need is just a little patience. Have some patience. Wait it out. It's okay to wait. We do it for a lot of things, as much as we don't like to. But for stuff like this, wait it out. That's all I can say. You want to buy it day one, nobody's stopping you. But if it comes out and it's broken and it breaks the game, Don't come crying to me or CD Projekt Red about it. Blame yourselves. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Edgerunner Gaming HD signing out. Peace, stay safe, have a great rest of the day or night, and I'll see you in my next video.
They will find me through the flames, flames that run down through my veins. I will make the city burn. We're not planning to return. Trying so hard to be free, to make you see what I see. Hold on to your wishes if you can't hold on to me. Forgive me for letting you down. Forgive me for letting you down again. I guess I'm not strong enough.